Hello there. My name is Aiden. Tonight, we are returning to the sleepy mountain town of Goldleaf. The day begins wrapped in soft autumn light. The sky is painted with gentle streaks of gold and pale rose, the kind of sunrise that doesn't shout but hums quietly, like a hymn only the trees can hear. You sit on the porch swing, your cat curled warmly at your side. She stretches, tucks her paws, and blinks as if to say, "This is our kingdom for now." The wooden swing creaks as it sways back and forth, its rhythm unhurried, like a rocking chair that remembers generations of gentle mornings. A steaming cup of tea rests in your hands. You notice the way the porcelain warms your fingers, how the rising steam curls into the chill air, carrying with it faint hints of bergamot and honey. Each sip is grounding, earthy, and smooth. Beyond your porch, a breeze rolls through the trees. Leaves of amber and crimson twist downward like drifting lanterns, gathering in soft piles across the grass. Somewhere close by, a pair of deer graze quietly, their ears flickering at the sound of distant crows. The world feels slow, untroubled. But today, you have a plan. Winslow, the town baker, has invited you to visit his shop. He mentioned something about a pastry party, a chance for the townspeople to gather together to taste a few seasonal treats, catch up on old times, and linger over dreams for the future. You've been given the honor of helping to assemble and bake the pastries that will take center stage. You step off the porch, basket in hand. The path crunches beneath your boots, each step crisp with leaves, each breath carrying a trace of wood smoke and spice from nearby chimneys. Along the way, you pass neighbors sweeping porches, hanging garlands of dried corn husks, and stacking pumpkins of every shade, pale cream, deep orange, even a few strange dusky green ones. A child waves from behind a picket fence, a mitten dangling precariously from one hand. The town of Goldleaf is alive with the peculiar hum of autumn. The blacksmith's hammer rings faintly in the distance, a horse's hooves clop against the cobblestone, and a fiddler plays softly near the well in the square, his music rising and falling like leaves caught in a breeze. From the apothecary, the scent of lavender and dried sage spills into the street. Outside the bookshop, an elderly woman arranges a stack of second-hand novels beside a vase of chrysanthemums. She smiles as you pass, nodding as though to bless your morning journey. And the bakery. Ah, the bakery announces itself before you even see it. First comes the smell. Butter browning, sugar caramelizing, spices blooming in warm air. Then comes the sight. Winslow's shop tucked neatly between the bookstore and the clock repairer. A wooden sign swings gently above the door, painted in careful letters. Winslow's Hearth and Home. The door opens with a gentle push. Warmth envelops you instantly. The scent is rich and layered. Flour dust, melted butter, cinnamon, and the faint smokiness of a well-used brick oven. The bakery is cozy, shelves lined with wicker baskets full of loaves, jars of jam glinting like stained glass, and a chalkboard menu scrawled with looping letters. On the counter, a single pumpkin sits, its orange skin dappled with green as though painted by hand. From behind the counter emerges Winslow. His apron is dusted with flour, his sleeves rolled to his elbows. He has kind eyes that carry both mischief and wisdom. His laugh lines tell you that he's shared more joy than sorrow. "Ah," Winslow says, brushing his hand on his apron. "Right on time. I hope you came hungry. We have a lot to prepare." He leads you back to where the dough rests beneath the linen cloth. Winslow lifts the cloth with a flourish, and there they are, layers of butter folded neatly into flour, waiting for their transformation. "Croissants," he says reverently. "Born in Austria, perfected in France." Did you know that their crescent shape was first baked to celebrate victory over the Ottoman Empire? The bakers of Vienna shaped them like the crescent moon on the Turkish flag, and when Parisians tasted them, well, the rest is delicious history. You watch as he rolls the dough out, thin and delicate. He folds it again, presses the rolling pin forward, the butter sighing faintly inside each layer. He lets you touch the dough. Cool, pliable, almost silky. "Patience is the secret," Winslow murmurs. Layer upon layer, each one fragile on its own. But together they rise. He winks. Rather like community, don't you think? The croissants are shaped, brushed with egg wash, and slid into the oven. Already the air seems richer. On the counter sit neat rows of tart shells, their golden crusts ready to be filled. Winslow slices fresh apples, the knife moving with calm certainty. You help fan the slices into a spiral, each piece glistening as he brushes them with apricot glaze. "Tarts," he says softly, "are simple. A cradle of pastry, a burst of fruit. Bakers in medieval times prized them because they could be served hot or cold, savory or sweet. A feast for kings or for farmers in the fields." The tart catches the light jewel-like, and you can't help but admire how something so simple can look so regal. Winslow notices and grins. That's the trick of glazing, makes the ordinary shine. Next comes a bowl of flour and butter. Winslow shows you how to rub the butter into the flour. You'll help add cream and dried currants, stirring gently. "Not too much," he cautions. "Overwork it and they'll turn tough." Scones ask for a gentle hand. As he kneads lightly, he adds, "They began in Scotland, you know. The word comes from the stone of destiny, the coronation stone of Scottish kings. Imagine that, a humble pastry tied to crowns and castles." He cuts the dough into neat triangles, dusts them with sugar, and sets them on a tray. Scones remind us that small things carry weight. A good scone can change a morning. A ruined one can sour it. Finally, Winslow brings out a bowl of bright orange puree. He lets you stir in sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger until the whole mixture smells like autumn distilled. But he doesn't stop there. He sprinkles a pinch of clove, then folds in heavy cream, turning the puree into a velvet-rich filling. The scent rises like warmth from a hearth, deep and spiced. "Pumpkin," he says with warmth, "isn't just a flavor. It's a season." Colonists once baked pumpkins whole, filling them with milk and spices before setting them in the fire. That was the ancestor of the pumpkin pie. He spoons the filling into little hand pies, but also into larger rounds of dough, folding them over and sealing the edges with careful crimps. On a few, he scatters roasted pepitas across the crust for crunch. On others, he cuts small leaf shapes on the top so that steam will escape in curling tendrils. These, he says proudly, are for Goldleaf's autumn. Sweet, spiced, and sturdy enough for a walk home, but also just beautiful enough to honor the season. When they slide into the oven, the bakery fills with a scent that seems to coat the walls: roasted pumpkin, warm spice, caramelizing sugar. It is the smell of autumn itself, captured and shared. At last, Winslow sets all four before you: the croissants, golden and flaky; the tarts, glistening like jewels; the scones, soft and warm; the pumpkin pastries, spiced and glowing. Now, Winslow says, leaning on the counter, you must choose. You taste each one slowly. The croissant shatters delicately, its butter melting on your tongue. The tart sings with brightness, fruit and glaze in harmony. The scone crumbles softly, comforting like an old song. And the pumpkin. The pumpkin tastes like hearth fires and laughter, like a memory you haven't made yet. Winslow watches you with a knowing smile. There are no wrong choices, only the one your heart leans toward. Just as you finish your last bite, the bell over the bakery door jingles. One by one, townsfolk begin to arrive. A trio of children in knitted scarf press their noses against the glass display case. The postmaster, still in his blue uniform, takes a seat near the window. A pair of teachers share a bench, murmuring about lesson plans between sips of cider. Winslow sets platters of pastries along a wooden table, and laughter fills the air as neighbors greet one another. The bakery becomes a glow of conversation and contentment. You find yourself sharing stories with a kind-eyed woman who tends to the herb garden outside the apothecary, and a grandfather who claims he's been eating Winslow's croissants since before Winslow had laugh lines. The townsfolk taste each pastry and nod their approval. The pumpkin, says one, tastes like the first fire of the season. Another calls the scones a comfort you didn't know you needed until it was gone. Winslow, bustling between tables, catches your eye and winks. His party is a success. And in some quiet way, so is your role in it. Your basket is heavy now, warm cloth covering the pastries you've chosen. The walk home is quiet, shadows lengthening across the cobblestones. The air smells of leaves and chimney smoke, and the weight of your basket feels more like a gift than a burden. At your porch, your cat waits. She sniffs the basket, then curls around your ankle as if to say, yes, this was worth it. You sink into the swing again, basket beside you, cat in your lap. The world is golden, hushed and whole. It is autumn in Goldleaf, and autumn here is the season for remembering and savoring, one flaky, spiced, buttery bite at a time. Thank you for visiting Goldleaf with me tonight. If you'd like to return again, you can subscribe to this channel, leave a kind word below, or simply join me next time for another story. Until then, rest well.